Welcome back to the Tracy Take. I am Tyler here with my brother Ryan, and today we are doing the Denver Broncos 3-round mock draft. But before we do that, we have a fun announcement. We have partnered with BetUS, so if you're one of our viewers and you'd like to put a couple bucks down on the pony, hit that link down below and get notified of their fun promotions that they have going on right now for first-time players. It is a 125% match for your first 3 deposits. They have a bunch of fun games going on, especially into if we look at the spring and kind of what's up in the future. NBA, NHL playoffs are right around the corner, and honestly, the NFL season is not too far away. So click that link down below to get access to that promotion. While you're at it, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get notified when we create new content. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the NFL draft, and we are just about 200 away as of the recording of this video. So any help is greatly appreciated. Ryan, let's pull up the Broncos offseason so far. I would say of the NFC West teams, I think they have been the one that has been most active of bringing in outside players here. They have lost a couple of good guys, such as Lloyd Cushenberry. I'll say Jerry Jeudy and Josie Jewell as well were all key pieces that were lost, but I think they have brought in some guys here to replace them. Or at least begin kind of that foundation. But I also think, too, moving on from Jerry Jeudy and also Russell Wilson, I think that's kind of like the final nail in the coffin of like the old regime is officially out. And so now this is Sean Payton's team here. And they made a lot of, well, compared to the rest of the AFC West, a lot of additions to the team as well, such as Josh Reynolds, Calvin Throckmorton as well, Malcolm Roach, Cody Barnett, a couple of guys just to name them. Which of these so far do you think is going to be the most impactful to the Broncos team, and where do you kind of rank the Broncos offseason so far?
As far as like which one is the most impactful, I think it's more of addition by subtraction in this, and that's to me just getting rid of Russell Wilson. I think this team will be a whole lot better off now that he's not in the building. I will say right now they only have Jarrett Stidham in the quarterback room, along with like one other guy who
will not be playing.
Yeah, because I can't even remember his name at this moment in time. So that to me is probably the biggest addition, is the loss of Russell Wilson. And all the other guys I think are just solid players, right? Josh Reynolds is a good, not great receiver. Calvin Throckmorton, good, not great guard. And that to me, I think it just kind of speaks across a lot of their signings. The other big loss I think is going to be Lloyd Cushenberry. He was a pretty good center for them for a long time, and losing him to Tennessee, that's going to hurt, especially right in the middle of that offensive line. Luckily, this is a pretty good interior offensive lineman class, and they could potentially address that at some point in this draft. So,
yeah, I kind of agree. Going back to the first thing that you said there, I think just moving on from Russell Wilson, I think now you can go in and get a young guy. I think that Sean Payton can kind of mold, and I think that's a great segue to our first overall pick here. And we have him going with Bo Nix here at number 12. I feel like half the Denver Broncos fans are going to hate this pick, and the other half are going to loathe this pick. But I feel like if we're thinking about it realistically, Broncos only have 2 picks, and their next pick's not until 76.
Yeah.
Maybe they trade back, and they try and get a little more draft capital, try and go and get him somewhere else. Or maybe they try to be uber aggressive and go and get J.J. McCarthy. But I think the Broncos moving on from Russell Wilson, that's a clear sign. I mean, unless they think that Jarrett Stidham could be the guy. But even Joe Flacco was signed now. So I don't really know what notable quarterbacks are still going to be out on the market. Carson Wentz, I think, just signed with the Chiefs the other day, actually. So I think it's getting very, very bare minimum if they want to go try and find a veteran quarterback just to throw in as a competition there. I think they're going to be rolling with Jarrett Stidham as the backup, or at least maybe a serviceable starter as whoever they draft works his way up. But It's more and more telling to me that this 12th overall pick is just going to be whichever quarterback that they like, whether it's Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix.
Well, it's going to be whichever one's left, I think, at that point.
Potentially.
Yeah. And like that's where I do think Bo Nix is a really solid fit, but that is where – but I think Bo Nix is a first-round pick. And where in the first round, I'm still not totally sure, because he has a lot of experience. He's very accurate with the football. He has like 1 or 2 mechanical things that I would want to fix. Like he throws off his back foot a lot for no reason when he could like be stepping into throws. But again, I think Sean Payton can fix all that. My biggest thing here at 12 is I don't know who trades up here at 12, because you're kind of in that no man's land where like, all right, a lot of the true blue chip guys are off the board, and now you're just into like this is gonna sound stupid, but like into like the true first round grade guys, right? The not the elite anymore. You only have about 10 true blue chip guys, and then you have about 30 guys I think that are going to grade out with like actual first round grades in this class, apart from those blue chip guys. And you're kind of in between that phase right there. So maybe like if Brock Bowers falls out of the top 10, then like the Bengals or the Colts trade up to grab him there at 12. But then you're really talking about splitting hairs there between picking Bo Nix at 12 and at 15 or 18. Like, well, I know you get some more draft capital the other way, but again, if you think Bo Nix is good enough to take in the first round, I think you take him here at 12 and be done with it.
Yeah, and I think another thing too. I mean, because now we're having also the meetings are going on now where players can go to certain facilities as well and like do interviews or even do some other additional testing. And I think one thing too that we just can't really judge right now is just going to be how teams fall in love with the player. Like for example, if the Bengals fall in love with J.C. Latham and they are afraid that Vegas, New Orleans, or Indianapolis are going to take a tackle, they could trade up 6 spots and be like, "Hey, we love J.C. Latham, so we're going to go get this guy." That's just the only thing in my mind that would make sense why a team would want to jump up. Because to your point, though, this is such a loaded class, and a team like the Broncos, Denver, Bo Nix is not going to make it to the 76th pick. I don't really think they have the draft capital even to move up further into the third round or maybe into the end of the second round if they'd even want to risk that. So we'll have to see. It's going to be very interesting on how the Broncos play this, because now Minnesota, Denver, and I can still kind of technically throw in Las Vegas are in there for that quarterback mix on who's going to want to trade up to go and get the guy, or not the guy, sorry, just the fourth quarterback. I would say it's going to be available.
Yeah. Or even really the fourth or fifth quarterback. It's going to be really interesting, I think, to see where all these guys go, because I realistically could see 6 quarterbacks going in the top 16. I could also see 4 going in the first round, like throughout the first round, and then Bo Nix and Michael Penix fall. So I'm really interested to see how this quarterback class falls. Bo Nix here at 12 to the Broncos. Let's move on now to their second and final pick in the top 100. That's going to be edge rusher Gabriel Murphy. He is a little bit older, has a little bit of injury history, but I think in terms of pass rushing moves, being able to hand fight with offensive tackles, and then just like physical like attributes, he's one of the top guys in this class. He just was playing next to Laiatu Latu, who is just, in my opinion, a much better version of who Gabriel Murphy is. And Gabriel Murphy is a really solid player from UCLA. So getting him here in the third round, to me, he's the last guy that is going to, in my opinion, in this edge class, that is going to truly play a role for a team in 2024. I think a lot of the other guys after this are developmental. Yeah.
It's I can see with this pick Denver going honestly, literally in any direction here. I would say if it's going to be receiver here, I think Jalen McMillan was a good guy that I think that'd be left on the board here. They could go secondary, defensive line, on the interior. I think anything's fair game really for this third pick, just with what they need to improve on. That's not even too offensive line, but I think they have slowly been improving that. They've been investing in that. I know Mike McGlinchey didn't have the season that everybody was hoping for him last year, but also I think the Broncos in general just didn't have a season that everybody was hoping for. So in general, though, I think for the Broncos, it's really about what they do with that first overall pick and when they get a quarterback. Yeah, I think that's just, they have to get a quarterback. I think with the moves that they've made so far in the offseason, they're going to go get J.J. McCarthy or just really just whoever's there. If they are just content with Bo Nix or Michael Penix at that slot.
Yeah, and that's where I also think if they want to potentially move back and address more holes, I think Spencer Rattler could be an option for them. He is that similar style quarterback to Bo Nix, where he has a good, not great arm. But again, at that point, you're talking about a first-round quarterback versus a third-round guy. So you're just going to kind of have to see how it goes, and that's why you pay scouts big money.
Yeah.
So yeah, but let's go ahead and wrap up this video here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what you thought of this Denver Broncos 3-round mock draft. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you do differently? And on that, we will see you guys next time.